So I don't know if you have a kid, but what happens is you have a sweet little angel, and everyone else also thinks she's a sweet little angel. Of course they do. But the problem is, all they want to do to reward her for being so sweet is give her loads of sweets. So this bag right here, this is just, I don't know, a couple of weeks worth of snacks that we've gotten. I'm kind of calling it like the snack shrapnel, because this isn't even snacks she's getting from her grandparents, from family members, or even from daycare. This is just stuff that from her coming around with me to my job, or neighbors. Lots of neighbors love her. Maybe little parties she goes to, social events, anything like that. I mean, this bag weighs almost as much as she does, and let's see what it's filled with. Okay. You know, and it's not just cookies, right? It's, king size cookies. Now these, God bless my neighbor, these are actually homemade. Now, a homemade treat every once in a while, I think, if it's made with love. She's a kid, put a little love into living. A lot of people's love language is food, and someone went through great lengths to share that, to bake these and share this with my daughter. But she just happens to not like coconut, and I'm not going to sit there and tell my neighbor that, hey, those cookies you baked for my daughter, she doesn't like them, so we're just going to throw them away. I have enough of these to choke a horse. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous. Rock candy. Lots of stuff like this. The ultra processed, the fake dyes, and then she does get stuff like this. Now, this does say, gluten-free, that who cares? It's still going to spike your blood sugar in an unhealthy way. It does say it's allergy-friendly, which I do believe, and I would much rather her have something like this than like a traditional sour gummy covered with sugar and artificial dyes. But the problem is, it's not just this, right? I mean, I haven't even gone through like half the bag. This is what your kids are up against when they go out into the world, because even in 2025, either nobody knows food like this is poison, and everyone's saying, oh, kids are getting type 2 diabetes, kids are fatter than ever, kids are more depressed than ever. Well, no wonder. They're not getting any like protein or fat or real food into their diet. This is just a sack of cookies, and good Lord, just loads of junk. And this is exactly why. This is exactly why kids have diabetes, and there's something very insidious going on, because I have always watched documentaries and things like that, and they talk about how food companies make this kind of food so addictive. And I never truly experienced it until, she had something like this, and she couldn't stop at just one. That's the problem with things like this. They're not treats. They're not one-time treats. When she started having food like this, it is the first time she has ever gone behind my back. Usually she asks me for something, and, I tell her yes, and I give her the snack, and she's fine. Even we'll get her dark chocolate bars, and she considers it a treat, and she doesn't ask me for any more food for like 3 hours. She'll be like, oh, mommy, I'm hungry, and she goes about her day. But with stuff like this, she has it. When she started having stuff like this for the first time, it was the first time she ever went behind my back and snuck food. We gave her like one of those kids' yogurts. We brought home this because it's Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol is one of her favorite shows. I personally love Paw Patrol. I think it teaches good values. But this yogurt, and look at the ingredients. It says contains juice and milk. Well, I love my daughter. Why wouldn't I give her juice and milk? That's so healthy. That's what so many people think. She snuck behind my back. This was the first time she ever snuck behind my back and stole the entire container of like 6 yogurts out of the fridge and started trying to tank them before I caught on to what she was doing. And she's just never done that before. And I've always heard about how insidious these kinds of foods are, but that was the first time I'd ever really experienced it. And then the first time she ever had something like this, For the whole rest of the day, it was, Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I want a treat. Mommy, I want a snack. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. This isn't satisfying. I don't know what's really in this. I don't think they're ever going to tell us. I don't think that they're being forced to be honest about anything. But yeah, this is the problem. This is why. This is why. This is why kids have diabetes. This is why 5-year-old kids have type 2 diabetes. If I fill this entire sack up, it weighs almost as much as my daughter does. And this is only a couple weeks worth of treats that don't even include snacks she's getting from school, from daycare, or from family members. If she ate everything I gave to her, she would be overweight. She wouldn't be active and playing as much. And certainly not as much as we did when we were kids. And within a year, she'd probably have diabetes. And it's really sad. And I feel bad for the kids whose parents just really aren't aware of this yet. We all try to do our best as parents. And we all want to see our kids happy. When her face lit up with the Paw Patrol yogurt, you bet that it was like, oh, here, yeah. Love to see that smile, right? But we want a long-term smile. We want a kid that's not being made fun of in school for being overweight. It's sad, but it's the way that the world is. So it's going in the trash with all the other. This was a big mistake too. She got a hold of one of these. We were feeding someone's dog. Couldn't have just one package. Kept asking for it incessantly. I finally had to hide it from her, and I'm throwing it away. So just, if you have a kid and you know that this food is bad, just intervene. Stay vigilant.